Welcome in. When you all get in, I I was starting up this reading. I didn't know what to title this, and I was thinking. I was asking the divine. I was asking my intuitive consciousness, like, what's up? What do I name this live? What's going on with it? No title came up, but the word personification. And before we jump into it fully, thank you all so much for all the likes, comments, shares, subscribes, all the support. I truly appreciate it to the world. I love you all so much. Um, but we're gonna jump into this pretty quickly. Only reason why I'm gonna talk about personification for a minute. Um, and Spirit really put this on my heart. Whenever it like came to me, the way it hit me was a lot different. It it really resonated with me. There's a lot of personification going on. A lack of knowing who you are manifests on reality to define everything around you. Um, and just being able to think about that and having that seed, planted, thinking about that, thinking about how we personify things, how we personify people with objects or colors or things of that nature. Just how we give life to these seemingly lifeless objects. Spirit just kind of put that on me to think about. Is this deck upside down? It is completely upside down. But yeah, that is the little tidbit message that I wanted to give. But first cards out we have is the Ten of Wands upright, Ten of Pentacles reverse. A lot of work, a lot of hard work, no effort, no results, or not receiving any sort of reward. It's the general energy right now. It's just an energy of like you're doing this work, but you're not seeing the external value. It seems like is you're putting in a lot of work. You're keeping something alive, almost. It's either that or you're putting effort. You're trying to put life into something that needs to fall apart. So it's one of these two things for you. I'll try and read it both ways, or read it in a way that like resonates with both. But either way, there's a lot of effort with a lack of result being put in. And it might be you putting in the effort. I mean, there's obviously, I mean, like, it could be you putting a lot of effort, but what else is going on with the sun? Yeah, a choice between greatness and degradation. Observe and understand situations before acting. So there is just a heavy energy of realizing what's working and realizing what doesn't, and or realizing that I don't know. It's like I keep hearing this, and I don't know why I'm hearing it so strongly. But this energy of I'm not wanted here, it's like a revelation energy. Or if it's not that you're not wanted there, you're not wanting to be there anymore. There's these things that urge you away, and it's not. I don't know. It's trying to mirror something to you that you're not able to look at. I feel like, but at the same time, you could be in a situation or around people that you keep wanting to like remove yourself from, but you can't. And it's because you're putting what would happen to them over what's going to happen to you, and not saying anything. You know, it's like what's going to happen to you if you don't. You'll be stuck in a situation. You'll be in a cycle, and it's that energy there where you're needing to make a heart over head decision where you're really needing to focus on what the divine has for you rather than what you think about it. Um, and the Three of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Hangman. So you have been working together with yourself, this union. You have been in this union, unified energy with. this engagement energy with yourself. You're engaging with your whole body, not just like what you think is happening, or listening to thoughts. You're allowing an entire situation to show its whole self to you. Even with the sun being out, it's like the sun on the deck is like it's a naked baby on a white horse. It's pure, it's innocence, it has nothing to hide. It's like you're just allowing things to show you what they're showing you, not saying no, it can't be this, it can't be that. And even if you are, it's like it just happens and you disregard it. You're not letting it push any hold any sort of power. You're just letting it exist and thanking it for being there. But it's it's just revealing to you what you already know, and you're almost, yeah, with the Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles reversed, the King of Cups reversed, and the Seven of Wands, which is why you're kind of in this stuck position. There's something that you need to do, that you know you need to do to move out of this stuck situation, but it's this fear of not doing so, to where you're trying to find some sort of route around, almost with the Five of Pentacles. It's like you're almost trying to find some sort of like, oh well, we could walk around this way and we can find the path this way, or like I don't have to, like let's say this is like removing someone that you're supposed, like removing someone that you don't want to talk to anymore, or you're someone that you know that you're not supposed to be talking to anymore, right? And you're trying to remove them, but you're like, oh, I don't have to tell them that I don't want to talk to them anymore. I can just not reply to their messages anymore. But there needs to be a boundary set, either in the astrals and the spiritual, or on the 3D, where you're either telling them up front, hey, I don't want to, talk anymore, like don't message me, or blocking them, or like going to the spiritual realms and being like, hey, I don't want this person contacting my energy anymore. There's no hard feelings, or just not working out. Like making sure that you put your part into removing certain types of leeches, or certain types of people being around you or in the energy. Now, when you do this, the reason why it doesn't work, the reason why a lot of people do these things and it does end up working, is because you cannot harbor any of the old feelings that you harbored once you cut that tie. If you cut a tie with someone and you say, and you're cutting that tie with them so they can't do a certain thing to you anymore, if you keep thinking that they're doing that certain thing after, then that allows them to recreate that bond with that same energy, because you're putting power into that energy. So it's like you need to be able to, not only when you cut the tie, work on yourself on removing these thought patterns that you programmed yourself into thinking about someone. It's a whole thing where, like, yes, you can do that. You can cut ties, you can kill contracts, you can do whatever, but you have to match that energy that you're striving for, and you cannot think of anyone in any sort of like way that would disregard the way that you're trying to progress the situation to. So understanding that as well, and there might be an understanding of that as well, or like this could be something that you're just now figuring out. Then we had the Magician reverse, the High Priestess reverse, and the Empress reverse. These came out reverse last reading, with the Page of Pentacles on the bottom. So this is like, I just heard again. So this is like a redo almost of like an older test that you might have failed. And if it's not that, it's coming in as like a way to show you your growth from a past experience. So if something like, it feels like something repeated, but if it wasn't to like test you on it again, like, because not everyone passes their test, but if you did pass the test, it was almost there. It was like it was there just to show you, like, look at how far. Was that death on the top of the deck? It was. Okay, yeah, cool. So yeah, it's just to signify the change. I'm telling you. I was okay. Well, cool. Anyway, thank you, Spirit. I'm just gonna leave it like that. It was to signify a change, but this happening of an event that happened maybe in the past, maybe some sort of argument, maybe some sort of disagreement, maybe some sort of like action that led into like a spiritual awakening or a spiritual part of your journey, repeated, but it wasn't to like punish you. It was just to like show you, look at your growth. Like, look at how you handle this differently. You're not harboring any of those same emotions anymore. Even though you feel like you could have handled it better, it's like you you don't realize how much stress you've already put on your body and how much stress you're like removing off of your body. And it's like, yeah, you could have done better. If you think you could have, of course you can. Oh, you can always do better. Everyone can always do better. That's how it is. But don't pressure yourself to do better. Acknowledge it and be like, you know what, in the past I wouldn't have even thought that I was doing better, because I would be so focused on all the things I've done wrong. Focus on the things you're doing right. Even though like you feel like you're not doing it, you are. It's you're learning at your own pace, and some things you just don't get quickly. It's like don't punish yourself too much. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and it comes a lot from just like a religious trauma where you're told that like if you don't do these things perfectly you're gonna be punished, and it's like that's not it at all. The divine knows we're here, and it's gonna be very hard. We have temptation. We're on the physical realm. We're experiencing things on a very very weird like plane. Like the way we experience things is not is like unlike any other like plane of existence. We're very like split but also together at the same time. It's very weird. So it's like that stress of like I could do better, but then needing to like, even if you're like coaching yourself to do better in a nice way, there's like a need to not do that, because it's something about, if you wouldn't want someone else externally to do it to you, don't do it to yourself at this time. There's a need to really nurture yourself to that degree, because it's like you're in this need, like you need to nurture your thoughts. You need to nurture yourself on a lot. Hold on, I'm losing my voice. I'm losing how I can speak. The Queen of Swords and the Fool, but you're needing to do that so you can nurture your thoughts. With the Queen of Swords, you can nurture your thoughts so you can think about this new journey, think about these new steps, think about this new embarkment. Just be ready for this new jump that you're needing to take. Um, Something about the divine laying a plan on your heart that you need to take action to. Um, and it's I'm hearing for some of you it's gonna work out. It's gonna seem very it's like scary, and like it might seem like things are going to be happening last second, but things are going to work out. There's a need to just use the time and space that you have to use it for positivity. Don't fill it full of manifestations at this time. Fill it full of positive energy. But there is a need to stay strong. Um, there also is like, because with strength in the Knight of Wands reverse, there also is like there is a bit more need of control. Oh, there is a lot of control that's keeping something from changing. It's like you're needing to let loose of the grip so that you can nurture to yourself with this. It's like exchange the grip that you have on what you're wanting to come and exchange the grip of what you have been trying to manifest. Exchange the grip of the way you're thinking, or the way you're doing things, or the way you're living, or thinking that you need a schedule. Release that grip, become more lax in order for these manifestations to come in. There needs to be some sort of power exchange, and that exchange is just you loosening up your grip so the divine can move forward. Wheel of Fortune, I'm telling you, because it's something about like you're sitting at the top of the wheel, but you keep thinking back to when you were the gargoyle at the bottom of the wheel, and you were like, um, thank you, I appreciate that. But you're like you're at the top of the wheel and things are working out, but it's like you you get in this energy where you look around, or in this energy of like, oh, I could do this or I could do that, or you're looking at other people, especially with the Three of Cups and the Eight of Swords being on the bottom. It's like looking around at people or other people's lives and thinking that you're not doing something right and getting back into that old pattern again. But it's like you're flashing back and forth between those two realms, but it's like it's happening faster. It's like it's no longer like a pondering on it and then a switch out of the like you're taking less time to think about it. It's just like it's like, oh yeah, like yeah, I'm not doing what they're doing, but that's because I'm not them. Like I have a different path than them. they're not on this path yet. That's okay. Like, I need to be away from these people. Yeah, sad squirrel reverse. It's like you're really not allowing these external things to stop you from nurturing what you believe in. It's like this test could have even been like non-believers coming up to you, or someone saying that you were stupid or crazy for believing in what you believe in, but you stood your ground and were like, you know what? I'm not even going to take it personally. I'm just going to let you believe and think what you want to believe and think, because we're on different wavelengths. I'm experiencing life in a different way than you are. So, you're not wrong and I'm not wrong, but we're both not right. We're somewhere in between. We're on the spectrum of truth, you know? Yeah. Um, but there's less attachment to the labels that you claim. And it's almost like thinking about it in that way, in a sense. Like, yeah, you're spiritual, but you're not letting people who mock spiritual people bother you anymore, because that's not who you are. You're seeing like all these mental blockages and how they were like it's like, yeah, they were happening, but it was to show and to test to see if you were strong enough to even believe in that stuff yourself. With the Knight of Swords especially, if you are able to shift this mental, this, yeah, I think I'm this, I think I'm that, I believe I'm this, I believe I'm that, from switching to that to actually like living that life, being in charge of your life in that same energy that you believed yourself to be in, or that you talked yourself to be in, because there was some sort of lack of effort. It might have been a fear of losing people, or like a fear of just expressing yourself, or looking at people, or I mean, not looking at people, but people looking at you, and like categorizing you and things of that nature. But like, you realize how that was the lesson that needed to be learned. It's like you learned this lesson already, but it's now you're learning it for a different reason. And it's less about knowing the way around it, and more of the experience of how, like, the experience that the soul signs up for, because it's like you're understanding now the lessons, and you're seeing the experience that your soul needed. And it's not like, because like your soul signed up for it, yes, but now it's like you're seeing the correlations of why and how your soul signed up. It's like, yeah, my I got in a lot of bad relationships, a lot of like codependent relationships, but then you look back in your past and you see, oh shit, when I was a child I was always afraid to do things. I was kind of a codependent child, or either that, or like a very, very, very independent child, and that developed burnout throughout adulthood and needed like a time to rest. But instead of like, you know you know what I mean, like you're seeing the steps behind it, and it's less of like putting blame and just figuring out the equation of why. And you're seeing like, no, the soul did do it, because this all was planned out, because XYZ, like you're seeing what you were bound to, almost. You know what I mean? With the double, and especially in the Seven of Pentacles, everything you work on, you see why you worked on it. You're seeing not only the good of why you started working on it, but the bad, you could say, of why you worked on it. The, oh, I'll show you, or the sun reverse again, like the stuff that you didn't want to focus on. It's like you're really allowing yourself to admit that you have this ego that is an issue, that does have a say, it does have some ruling in actions, you know and it's less about judging it, it's just more about accepting it, and understanding where it's coming from, so you can better judge, like your own growth, your own way to almost trick yourself into thinking that you're still doing it, in an egoic manner, and it's hard. Like, we this thing has been crafted for years, and it's gonna take a while to do all these things. It's just like, but it's something the divine knows that can happen, and it's something that we're on the path of doing, and it's something that we've already done, and continuously we still do. Um, but there is proof of all this work, and there is this burnt out energy of like, I don't know what to do, what else to do. And I was thinking about this earlier today too, which is funny. The divine always does this. Every time I do like a late night reading, the divine will feed me all these downloads throughout today. But like, um, this energy of like, just not like doing a lot of work, not receiving pay, feeling almost like overlooked as well is what's been coming out. Just a lot of like, not one, no, hold on, yeah, there we go, thank you, spirit. See, they gave me another thing I needed to talk about too. It's also like, why does it keep flying away so fast? I get it, and then it flies away. I got okay. It's like you're doing all these things, and the divine has you, on a path to do one exact thing, but you're not wanting to do that one thing. Yeah, with the Nine of Swords, like this fear factor of wanting to do one last thing. Um, but it's not gonna hurt. Like it's not self-sabotage. This is something that your thoughts can't really defeat. It's something that no matter how much fear you feel, your thoughts are even like, yeah, you might want to actually do this. And it's like it's an all in or nothing kind of leap where you have to really go back to an old version of yourself to become this new version of yourself. Remember, we're not here to eradicate one side of ourselves. That's a bunch of BS. That's like not like you can't do that. You will be doing that forever. All right, you don't learn how to do that on this realm. What you learn how to do here on this realm is to take duality and to allow it to cooperate. You allow the opposites to exist together in harmony, which it doesn't really, it's hard to do, but that's what we're here to learn. We don't learn how to make ourselves one complete unit on this realm. If you're wanting to learn how to do that, you're on the right path, but you're trying to do something light years ahead. Like, maybe in a minute, not right now. You know what I mean? It's about just learning how to work with yourself, learning the ego. You can't separate the ego. You can't kill the ego. You kill the ego, you're dead yourself. The ego is you. You are the ego. The ego is I. Um, but it's these things that it can't, like, you can't even deny it yourself. You know what I mean? Like you know that whatever is next to happen is gonna be something good, and it feels like you're just in like a recharge area. You're trying to keep everything afloat while also in this recharge area. Yeah, there's something you need to wait. There's something you need to wait on. There's like a pause that you're not wanting to take. There's like be careful of jumping to something too quickly. With the Seven of Cups reverse and the King of Pentacles reverse, this looks like you doing something that looks good in the long run, but it comes back to bite you in the butt somehow. Because it does seem like a very, like, especially with the Nine of Swords coming out and then the Ten of Swords reverse, it's like your thoughts are trying to tell you not to do something. You need to listen to these thoughts because they're not thoughts that are fueled by normal source. This is like the divine telling you. This is the higher energy from your intuition telling you not to do something, telling you to wait, because it's something that you're impatient about, that you're wanting to happen immediately. It does feel like a Three of Cups energy, but it hasn't come out. It's a Nine of Cups. Yeah, it's something about like not wanting to wait on some sort of wish to come in, or getting impatient about some sort of wish, or you choosing something. Yeah, you choosing to walk away from taking some sort of action, or taking some sort of control over an idea. Or this is you making a very immediate decision to let go. And take this as it resonates, but this is an immediate decision to change something. This could have been an immediate decision to drop the idea, or to just like let go and release the power that happened immediately. That kind of had to happen once you, and you know, and if you haven't done that yet, there's a battle within the mind. There's this overthinking because of the of past patterns that needs to be relieved. Because this Ten of Pentacles is upright. There's something about a reward that you haven't seen. It's interesting because the Sun came out in reverse and then the Ten of Pentacles came upright, and then the Sun reverse. I mean, the Sun upright was here, and the Ten of Pentacles reverse is here. So there's something you're not seeing correctly, and it's because you could be gauging your work off of some sort of materialistic outcome, or how your physical realm looks, which is an incorrect way of judging things. Even though it's hard not to look at things like that, meaning we're on the realm of everything being physical, but there's a need to not look at this physically. Look at this spiritually. Spiritualize things. I've been hearing the number 6 a lot, all like for a while, and 6 is the spiritual number. 6 is the number of spiritualizing things, and we have the 7 of Swords because there's something sneaking around in your mind that's keeping you from completing a cycle, and this thing that's sneaking around um is trying to reveal itself to you through emotions, but there's like a not seeing it that way. There's like you're seeing it as a test on the like a physical test, or a test of like your morale almost, or something, but it's not. It's like it's trying to show you your physical reality, the way. It's like, I don't know, you know how like when you get questioned, your first immediate thought process is like, am I in trouble? Like, did I do something wrong? Like when you've gone through certain events, you immediately think you're in trouble when someone questions you. That's kind of what's going on. Like the divine questions and says, do you enjoy where you're at? Are you happy with yourself? And you're hearing it, and it's a voice that strikes fear because it's such a direct question, and you can't lie. So it's like you almost over exaggerate your truth. You might not enjoy where you're at right now, but you don't hate it, and it's not the worst it's ever been. You know what I mean? It's this over exaggeration, or maybe you really enjoy where you're at, but you're also like overcompensating the opposite way and being like, oh yeah, I love it here, I'm having so much fun, but you're like really not having that much fun, and you're lacking, and there's some things that could be better that just aren't better, but you're not letting them put you down. But then again, you're not being fully honest by being like, yeah, I wish I could do these things. It does suck that I can't do them. But instead of sending anger and hate and low vibrations towards that situation, I'm going to bring it up to a high vibration and be glad that I'm able to witness other people be able to do that. You know what I mean? It's like there's that type of energy going on. And with the Queen of Swords upright and the Eight of Pentacles reversed, yeah, and it's like you're kind of like just seeing what's working for you and what's not, and you're seeing what's not working for you, and the divine's doing this as a way to not demand for you to cut them off, or immediately, but to show you like where you're at. Are you comfortable here? Do you need more time here? Have you learned the lessons? Are you looking for something more with the Three of Wands on the bottom? Is there something you're looking for? The Seven of Wands, the Double reverse, and the King of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like you're waiting. You're not bound to anything, though. That's the thing. Is you're not bound to something. There might be an energy of you feeling like you're bound to some sort of curse or something at this time, and that's why you're stuck. But you're not. Like you might be hearing about people doing magic on you and whatnot, but you're not bound or stuck by that type of energy anymore. You're out of that energy. With the King of Pentacles reverse, there's something that you are not seeing, or there's some sort of thoughts that aren't aligning with the reality that you're wanting. There's some sort of like thought that's keeping you from moving towards action. that's pushing you. There's this fire inside of you. There's this goal that you're wanting to get to, but you're not able to get to it or see a route to it. You haven't hit the right thought yet. You haven't had the right words said yet, or you haven't had the right vision yet, or you haven't had the right note hasn't been struck. The fire's there, you see it, you know it, but you're unable to get there. And you know, it's like it's no longer someone else messing with you. Like they can, like, you know, you hear all the time, you're safe. There's something within the waters of yourself that you need to inspect. There's something going on with you and your emotions and the way that you feel about this next task. This could even be, and I'll give this example because as a reader, um it's just important to talk about. But like whenever I was first doing this, there were a lot of readings that I was told to do at the very start that I didn't feel able to do, but I trusted the divine told me to go for it, and I trusted them, and I, you know, good responses came back. It's just, it's that fear of like feeling underqualified, or oh, I can't do this, or oh, I don't want to do that. Well, in actuality, you don't really want to do anything because you're so overwhelmed by all these external things. Our senses are so high. Like, dude, we there's like the sense that's heightened the most is sight. We're seeing everything all the fucking time, and if it's not seeing something, we're feeling it. And it's like we're so overstimulated that we literally get this stress bomb, and we feel like we can't handle anything. It's like we're at the max point. Where this is like right before the peak enlightenment. You know what I mean? Like that's how you can think of Earth, is really being able to come back to yourself and know who you are. Like it's not this sunshine and rainbows journey. You gotta climb a fucking mountain, dude. That shit's rough. You're at the peak of the mountain. That's why life feels so chaotic all the time, because it's like you're almost at the apex. You're able to go back down and experience and relish all the things that you've done. It's like that energy. But this Three of Cups that came in reverse, yeah, it's about not choosing another option, though. It's really about staying on the ground, staying on the path that you want. Yeah, it might seem more fun being with other people, maybe. And, you know, it's like, it might even be a thing where you need to tell yourself over time things will get better, because it's something, again, about like the thought process that you're having, or the way you're looking at something, that's keeping you in this desolate energy. But you're not wanting to get off this path. It's like, I don't want to leave this path. I want to stay on it, but I'm afraid of XYZ, or so and so thinks this about me, or all these energies. And it's like there's really a need to just focus on you. And if other people don't like what you gotta say, or like what you do, or like how you say things, or just like, you know, they don't like like, I don't know, is, you know what I mean? Like, you could be a straight up prophet, and then you're not telling your messages because someone doesn't agree with the way you're giving them. Well, bitch, God gave them the message, and if they're a prophet, then they have the full right to say that message. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. The divine speaks to everyone the same way, and not everyone talks the same, you know? It's just how it is. There's something about you and your delivery, or the way people have treated you in specific, that have made, that's like ingrained in you, that you are not good enough for these things. And you need to realize that now, in this energy of being released from these energies around you, these are like energies from your past. We're talking family, but people from your school that you don't even remember anymore, that were bullying you and shit. Those are the curses that we're breaking. Not, you know, these are the things that have to be broken. The things that are taught to us as a child in pure innocence. The things that we knew at innocence, we didn't really know now. You know what I mean? Um, it's all about all about the environment, and it could be like an environmental change as well. You might need to do some more cleansing. I definitely need to burn some Palo Santo. I forgot to do that. I'll do that soon. Um, With the High Priestess reverse, though, there is something that you're not listening to. There's some sort of feeling that you're not listening to. It could be you not knowing how to listen to it, or you trying to catch the voice, or you just outright not wanting to do something. Either way, it's fine. And I do feel the need to say this as well. When you're watching any type of reading, remember that you have free will. Okay? If you do not want, if you don't like what the reader's saying, or like you feel like something isn't right for you, but it's like sticking to you, you have the free will to reject the energy, or reject the visual person that comes up in a reading, or like to reject, or you don't have to accept energy. You always like s- send back to the energy pot that everyone kind of like grabs from during readings. Send it back to the general pot, because if it's not for you, someone else could benefit for it. um as well as just like um never forget like your free will, and how, like, not necessarily how deep it goes, but how much access you truly have to it. um Even to the point where like you can choose to not go any further on your mission. That's completely fine. You don't have to. No one's forcing you to, that's it's up to you. Your free will goes up to that far. Even though you've signed everything up in the contracts and the ethers, you come down here, it's free game. You can say no to everything that you set up in the heavens. It doesn't matter. We're down here. It's free range. So just remember that your free will is like that, is that way. All you have to do is say that you want to or you don't want to. And the universe listens. If you are ready for change and you say I want change, and you use your free will to conjure up the energies for change, then change will come. Same thing for the opposite. If you don't want change, you can do the same thing for that. So when you, especially when you're on the journey and you're in these when you're in the elevator and you're going up the floors and you're seeing how many people kind of stop on their journey in certain points, it can cause like a bit of fear of knowing, like, oh god, like how far are we going up. And it just remembering again, like, that's the whole many are called, few are chosen energy. It goes all the way up. It never stops. But going up to your comfortability, and remembering that you can still interact with other people. Like, there's a need to really change your mindset about maybe who you are. Like, how protected you are. The divine loves you. The divine's never gonna like not protect you. Your ancestors are around you. The gods, the deities, every, like, the entire world is for you. Like, we know these things, and we are the ones that embody the energy to the point to where it's not like a lost art to know anymore, which is good. But there's a need to not look at people as lesser, in the degree of like, oh, I can't be friends with people who aren't spiritual. You most certainly can, um if that's something that you're wanting to do, of course. You know what I mean? Like, we set these boundaries up until we're strong enough to move along without them. These barriers aren't meant to be put there permanently. They're meant to be there until we repair. When we remove these boundaries, it's not the fact that we open the gates for them to come back, and for us to fall into the cycles again. We release that barrier to keep the energy flowing so it's not stuck or stagnant. Us sending the unconditional love, us sending the prayers, the high vibrations at the healed state that we would be at after the healing of the boundary barrier removal. There's no effect to that type of negativity. Even if they were to say something like negative, it wouldn't even bear to reach you, especially doing cord cuttings, and just remembering that, like, when we put barriers, it's closing parts of ourselves in. And when we open those barriers back up, it's to receive, and it's not necessarily to receive that person, um or the entity, but to receive the energy that which you put out towards that person, which is still you. And if sending the "I don't understand why you do these things" sends the energy of, "Well, I don't understand why I'm doing these things" back to you. And sending the energy of love while having these boundaries, when you open them back up, it just sends the love that you sent back out to them. It's like, yeah, so I see why they did all those things. And it's an experience where it's opening and closing. It's the momentum of life. And it has to happen. Like, you don't always have to open up. You can keep the boundaries shut, of course, always. But remembering that it's important to open them at a certain point. You just, your protection is solidified. It's no longer a worry if you are under like attack. And even if you do become under attack of these spells, it's one of these things where you're equipped to the point where these attacks aren't down too much. you know if it's something you alone can't handle, it's something for a fact your ancestors are gonna have you for, because it's baby, because compared to the newer things, it's like baby dookie, from the old. But it's something like, it's something that you're not nurturing on the physical. And it could be like a spiritual lifestyle that you need to have. Like, maybe you need to actually physical put more physical effort into your spiritual life, because you need both. When you're living the spiritual life, you're realizing that what's happening in both. But there's, maybe you need to like sage more, take more spiritual baths more. Maybe you've been slacking on like your prayers or your spiritual activities. You know what I mean? And it's just been because of this exhaustion energy. I mean, shit, dude. Like, what? The retrogrades are just now slowly coming down, and then we got a bunch of other planets coming up and ramping shit up. It's just all these energies, and it's just like, don't allow all the rampant energy to get to thoughts out of a line, because there's a lot of people that are going to be negative. There's going to be a lot of like external negative events going around, it could just be like deaths, or just like seeing news that riles you up. I mean, what do we have, the elections coming up, or we have some sort of like political thing going up? I don't know. Listen, catch me somewhere else. I watch the political events to know what's going on spiritually in a way. I don't necessarily, like, dude, let me live in a cave at this point. You know what I mean? Okay, let's return back to nature all the way. I'm kind of done with this. But the Four of Cups reversed and the Ace of Wands, be sure to meditate and to think, because there's some sort of idea that you're not receiving, and it might be because you don't feel like you can nurture it. With the Queen of Wands reverse, it's like, again, it's like you're being given a role, and you can't handle it. It's a role made for you. Remembering your free will, of course, you don't have to accept it. You can reject it, and it's perfectly fine. Nothing bad. The divines, this is basically like a side quest divine offering. Like, hey, you want to do this? Then let's dive in deeper. You have these incredible gifts that are gonna have like an awakening here soon. Funnily enough, during the winter, when most of us end up in like a hibernation state, the weather gets colder. We're in a more spiritual environment. We're focused more on ourselves. We're cozying up more. It becomes more of a spiritual energy. That's when more of the gifts start unlocking. So like, a lot of gifts are unlocking. You have what it takes to do what's being disposed upon you. It would not be put on you if you could not handle it. Remember that always. It does not happen to you, it happens for you. If you could not handle it, you would not have signed up for it at all. It would not have happened to you at all. That's something we need to remember. It sucks because it's like, why the fuck did I sign up for half the things I went through? I don't know, but you're strong enough to go through it. It's a lesson that needs to be learned. You know why you needed this specific lesson, the specific way it needed to play out, that's for you to find out. That's the way that you find your own character, how you find your true self, how you find your answer to what your soul needed to experience. But it's something that's always gonna happen, and like it, you're not gonna ever sell yourself short. And the divine mother and father always make sure that you have the protection, the safety, that everything's gonna go right. But with free will, you have the right and the will, and it's your option to go down the route of fate instead of the route of destiny, you know? And it's your free will to understand how to know the path of fate and know the path of destiny, you know? It's these things, it's the free will of knowledge, and we're told knowledge is power, but we're focused on physical power. So like, oh, who's the presidents? Who gives a fuck who's the presidents? I wouldn't. We know that the things on the physical are only trying to explain things that are happening spiritually. So let me know the rule book for spiritual living and not the rule book for physical living, because the rule book for physical living doesn't mean shit if I'm not living it spiritually. The hell? Like what? Like, yeah, I followed this system and this system works. So then what happens when the system crashes? Then looks like I'm crashing too. I follow the spiritual route and then I do things on the physical. If it crashes on the physical, I got spiritual backup. I don't give a fuck what happens. I'm fine. I know I'm fine. And it has nothing to do with like ego thing. It just knows that I just know whatever happens, the divines got me. The divines are gonna lead me down a certain path that might not be uh the most like obvious path, but it's a path that's gonna take me down the to a way I need to go and teach me a lesson that I wasn't seeing beforehand, you know? And some people aren't about it. Some people don't like learning lessons. Some people are just here to fucking just to do it, you know. They don't really have that search in them. The energy's been drained from them. The you know, the system's got them hooked up, draining all their essence and everything. But there is a lack of accepting this calling again because of a lack of mental clarity. Judgment reverse and the Ace of Swords reverse. So very much before rejecting immediately, the divine, we want you to at least ponder on it. Don't just disregard this next offer or this offer that feels too big. Ponder on it, pull cards, do your divination if you need, get readings, do whatever you need to do, ask for your own signs, flip a coin, but you know, talk to us. Is what they want to say. Talk to the divine. There's something about like this upgrade's been waiting for you. This is something that you've been manifesting in for yourself, but you keep putting this energy off into other things, which is fine. But understand that something that you've been wanting needs your nourishment. It's right here with the Empress, the Ten of Swords reverse, and the Hangman reverse. And this is something that you know, and you're just kind of waiting and sitting and not doing it because you're waiting for like the divine to give you another sign, or the divine will do it, and it's like, no, we need you to nourish this, okay? We need you to go put some physical work in. Whether this physical work is, you know, transmuted from physical to mental, or, you know, actual physical, however, we need you to actually put in some work, because you're not seeing some sort of higher reason, or you're not accepting some sort of higher responsibility, which again, like for the one, for the higher responsibility, that's for the ones that are wanting a higher level to go towards. You're not accepting it because it feels too much, or it feels not real. Like it doesn't, like the thing that has been laid upon your heart feels fake. So ask yourself why it feels fake. Who's told you that whatever you're going through feels fake? Like, ask yourself these things, because there's an energy of like not believing almost in yourself despite all that you've gone through. It's like you're okay. Seeing it right now. It's like you're walking down this field, and there are like a bajillion. There's like infinite missiles being shot down, and by God's grace, none of these missiles are hitting you or have hit you, and you've walked this fucking path for like 5 miles, and for 5 miles, like no rocket has hit you, and you're walking with your head down, and when you look up, you're seeing like all the destruction around you, and you're seeing it, and you but you're not seeing that you're not even in it. You're avoiding all sorts of destruction. You're avoiding all sort of chaos and negative energy. And you look around and you see it and you're like, damn, it sucks being around here because like you're seeing it from a point of view where you're like feeling lonely, but you're not. But this is the test that the divine has to put you through with the Five of Wands. Can you do it yourself? Can you come out of the waters alive, you know? Can you can you allow yourself to trust yourself that much more? Can you be honest with yourself? Yeah, there might be a little ego behind it. Yeah, I'm doing this to prove to so and so that I can do it. Yeah, I'm proving it because all these people don't believe in the divine, so I'm gonna prove it to them. There might be a bit of ego behind it. Admit it. We're humans. We're here to learn. It's okay. Okay? Don't punish yourself. Be honest with yourself. You're not perfect. Don't act like you are. If you're gonna sit here and act like you perfect, you come to the wrong place. We don't do that here, okay? If you want to be perfect, wrong realm, wrong realm to even think that. Okay, we're pretty split here. I don't think that's perfect. It's perfectly imperfect. Is what we'll leave it at, you know. But again, there's some sort of like a disconnect with yourself. It could be a disconnect with your creative side, a disconnect with a more childlike, a more nurturing side of yourself that isn't allowing you to really be happy. It's like your childlike wonders basically is like it's being tested. It's like you gonna bust through this world, you gonna bust through this veil. You wanna come along with this adventure. Yeah, the Knight of Cups reverse. But there's something about your emotions. It's like you're unable to. In this childlike energy, you're expressing and you're attracting too much of the childlike energy. And it's making it hard for you to express your emotions in a healthy way, not only to yourself, but possibly to others. And you're needing to see why this childlike energy has that sort of attachment to it because there's some sort of pessimistic energy, some sort of low vibration energy attached to this childlike wonder that isn't affecting it, but it has a sort of effect over you, and it changes your character, and you notice it, but it's not anything that hurts you because you're using it as a lesson, but the divine needs you to be more aware of no, you're actually changing a little bit of who you are when you're in this state, which isn't bad, but we need you to be aware of this so that it doesn't become a bad thing. Like, be aware that this childlike energy is bringing up a lot of regrets from like a lack of power within some sort of childhood or like a lack of feeling seen or noticed, you know? There's a childhood abandonment wound or a childhood wound of like being ignored that comes up in this like happy energy. And it could be happening like when you're around people. So if you're around people with this fairly like childlike energy and no one's like talking to you or like asking you about things or paying attention to you, you might start overthinking or just, you know, these things, these energies, and it's happening not to push you away from these people, but to show you, hey, what's going on? Look around, look around. What's going on? No one's being mean to you. You're looking around, you're trying to identify what's going around. what's happening, what's going on the inside. Why is this you're in this childlike energy and you're feeling like this now? Why weren't you feeling like this before this childlike energy hit? There's something in the waters that's trying to talk to you. It's trying to get you to see this lesson with the Page of Pentacles on the bottom. There's some sort of lesson that you need to see. And the divine, the only way they can bring it to you is by doing it through the people that you're around, because you're not seeing it through yourself, you're not picking it up through the other means, and the divine's like trying to show you. So don't think that people are being more mean to you. Don't think that people are trying to kill your vibe. It's your own energy that's showing you that there's something there. It's snitching on itself. And it's not trying to hurt you. It wants to leave. It doesn't want to be there. I just heard I don't get paid enough. It don't get paid enough to stay in that high vibration. It gotta go back. It has to go back to where it came. I'm telling you right now, with the Six of Wands, it and the Knight of Wands reverse, it cannot evolve with you. You have power over it. It can't come with you. It has to leave. It doesn't know where to go, though, because you're not nurturing that part of yourself that's coming up. You're not taking this next leap to see what's going on. And it could be turning into agitation, but I'm not picking up as agitation. I do see it has been making you self-reflective a lot more. It could be self-reflective, especially with this new moon energy. Oh my god, this new moon energy is going to be fucking crazy because of it. So be careful with that. But pay attention to how you feel, how you react, how you feel before you react. All these things, because it's like this energy is so delicate and important for this next part of your journey. Like, it's so important. And it's not like a do or die situation, but it's going to allow you to attract your soul tribe. Because for some of you, it's this energy that exists that kind of keeps you away from this soul tribe. Because this energy, like, and it is something that happens a lot. Like, you get in this really happy, high vibration, and it rises these feelings up, and your feelings start ramping, and you become more vulnerable. But in that vulnerability, there's no shield for, like, understanding certain things, and that needs to be buffed up a bit more. Is really understanding what a joke is, allowing the divine to speak to you instead of assuming that someone's doing something because of someone else's actions, allowing a clean slate to always be present. And don't be afraid to question people on their intentions. Like, that seems like a rough thing to do, but like, if someone can't answer you honestly about what their intentions are, then that's a red flag off bat. Like, if someone, like, it's the same thing if someone asks you, like, hey, do you want to do this with me? It's like, yeah, I'm down to do this. Like, okay, but are you gonna do it with good intention? Like, are you gonna do it with like a smile on your face? Are you gonna be happy? If someone says no off bat and says that they're not wanting to be in like an optimistic mood during the day, I wouldn't really want to do a task with them, you know? So just understanding these things and just like, and again, it's not like deep diving and like doing a whole like psycho analysis on yourself, but just like allowing the seeds to be planted, allowing yourself just to see it, just letting the thought fly by, you know. It trains your subconscious to think that way, so that it starts drawing from the divine, going, okay, so I need this. Yeah, but with the Hermit, there's something you need to draw up. There's something about you not even needing to look or dig. It's just, it needs to just be there. A lot of the spiritual journey is seed planting, and people don't understand this. This is why people get so upset at people all the time when they start talking about like advanced things on the spiritual journey. It doesn't matter if you understand it. It doesn't matter if you agree to it or not. It's about a seed being planted. We are planting seeds, dude. That's all we're doing. Because whether the person wants to agree to it or not, the soul knows what the soul knows. And if and it will pick up what it will pick up. There is nothing else to it. Yeah, I mean with the Ten of Wands even. The Ten of Wands reverse, which is so interesting. Because it's something about that that keeps you from working on it. Because it's funny. Because every card that's come out has come out opposite now. So the general energy is you wanting to get to this energy, you're already getting to it. And if you haven't got to it, it's about you needing to give up on something or like release control. Again, with the Ten of Wands, it's like you. It could even just be like not wanting to lose a friend. Like again, it's picking up like just not wanting to lose something, not wanting to start over. Like I feel that. Like I do. It's like it's not. It's not even like you could define it as being lazy or arrogant, but it's not that at all because I literally feel how you're feeling. It's just not wanting to do it. Like there's no reason for you to not want to do it. You just don't really want to do it right now. Like there's just something and it's just thinking about it. It's a lot of stress, and it's like you're giving yourself this pep talk of what you have to do. So you're on with the Eight of Wands, but this is when you need to. I'm telling you right now, Eight of Wands. This is your message. This is the green light for you to go ahead and just do it. Just go for it. Pray for the energy. Ask for the energy. Be like divine. Ask whatever God, goddess, deity, whoever you need to ask. Oshuns, whoever. I don't, ask them who you got to ask. Be like, give me the energy to do this. I need the energy to do this. Be like, before you go to bed, give me the energy tomorrow so I can do X, Y, Z. All right? And when you wake up, you'll wake up and the first thing you'll remember is, oh, I gotta do these things. Don't let the energy of doing those things immediately put you into a, oh God, I gotta do these things energy. Be like, yep, I gotta do those things. Like I got stuff to do today. Good. I'm glad. I don't have to worry about what I have to do for the next however long of the day. I gotta do that. So just get up, go take you a shower, go take you a bath, whatever you do. Do your morning routine and start doing those things because it's something about this procrastination energy. And don't let something slip for more than 4 days, especially if you struggle with procrastination. Do not let something slip for more than 4 days because that will put you back into the procrastination cycle. 4 days is literally the limit. After 4 days, you like the fifth day is like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. That's when that cycle starts. Do not wait after 4 days. Start like you can wait like just the divine wants it's time to go. Like get ready, be ready. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups both in reverse. Because again, it's something about not nurturing these ideas. You keep saying with the Pentacles, you're verbalizing. I want to do this. I want to do that. I can't wait to do this. I can wait to do that. However you're saying it. But you're not letting that energy involved. With the Pentacles, it goes back to the Wands. The Wands is the energy, the pyre, the fuel to do those actions that you want to do. So you start manifesting and doing things. You don't have the energy to do so because you're not nourishing yourself. And how aren't you nourishing yourself? Goodness. How are you not nourishing yourself? Well, you're not nourishing yourself because you're not seeing these red flags from yourself. Remember, like always, never judge someone unless you're gonna judge yourself. If someone gives you a red flag feeling, question yourself. That doesn't mean dismiss it. That doesn't mean say that it's all your fault. No. Ask yourself why. Seriously, it's don't be pointing fingers unless you can point one at yourself. Really sit down and ask, Why do they give me a red flag? If it compares to someone else's actions, why did they give you a red flag? Look at the energy, not the person. That's what we're doing here. This is not a battle of flesh, which is why it's so hard to heal, because it's not a battle of flesh, it's a battle of spirit, but all we see is flesh. So how it takes a whole mind switch to really understand that it's not people, it's entities, it's little goobers and spirits and all sorts of shit that's on that flesh that's causing them to do that, not the flesh itself. The flesh is a house of the soul. The soul doesn't want to do those things, but if the soul is not running, what the fuck's running it? If the soul's not running it, if the divine's not running this thing, then what the fuck is? Whatever the hell else is out there, which is the exact opposite of what a lot of people would want to think. Like it's less of, oh, I'm running myself, and more of the devil running you than you running yourself. Because if you were running yourself, then your soul would be running you. Because you are your soul. You are the divine, not the physical. You know? Understanding these things, it's a lot of people, especially on the spiritual journey, some people get into spirituality because they see it work instantly and work quickly and work very beneficially for people, and they get into manifestation and they just want quick results, and like that's cool, but like at the same time, like these are the same cycles that like made Atlantis fall. Like people just using the power for like egoic reasons. It's like you can help yourself while helping others at the same time, you know? You can always do so. It doesn't cost any more, it doesn't cost any less. But regardless, we're gonna jump into the angel prayers. I'm working up on the next topic we're gonna talk about. I kind of need to do some research and study and ask some questions and do all sorts of things before I do that. So we're kind of just doing readings, seeing how we can help ourselves out, help each other out, how we can keep moving forward. But there's a lot of things that we're going to be talking about here soon. Is that it? Is just that one spirit? I'm going to shuffle 2 more times. See, that's the trick. They don't want to plop out any card until I say a number, and then they're like, oh, okay, well now we're going to make you drop the entire deck. Of course. But we have Earth Angel. Thank you, angels, for inspiring me to be more like you. Loved one in heaven. Thank you, loved ones in heaven, for drawing close at this time. Count your blessings. Thank you, universe and angels, for the blessings in my life. And you are protected, Archangel Michael. Thank you, Michael, for surrounding me with your protective light. Thanks, Michael. Michael hasn't popped around for a while. Michael's been coming around recently now. There's been a lot of changes. I don't know, for those that work with multiple like guides, have you been like noticing one guide working with you more than the other? Like one guide is just gone and then like a hyper focus on the other, because that's been going on with me. And I don't know if it's because of like the cycle or not, because I stay pretty evenly connected. I try to, at least, with both of them, but like I've been working. They've been working. My guides have been working really like close with me with like that. So that's been fun. But yeah, that is the reading. Thank you all so much. Again, if you're wanting like to look at get really high quality bracelets, gemstone bracelets, all for like certain intentions like protection, love, money, intuition, all sorts of things, you can hit up Spirit Otter and use the code. The links in the description. If you want a reading or any of the other services that I offer, any of the books I have or anything, you can use the Google form link in the description or email me. and I'll get you set up with that. If we want to be part of the Google group chat that we have, you can also email me, and I'll hit you up with that. I'll get you set up with that as well. But regardless, thank you so much for being here. That likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. Donations, energetic or financial, it doesn't matter. I appreciate all of them. To the world tenfold, to the moon and back tenfold and forever. I mean, excuse me. But I love you all so much. To the moon and back tenfold and forever. And I will see you later.